Why you should watch Barbie 2023 again.
So Barbie follows the life of stereotypical Barbie as she encounters some issues and has to travel to the human world to understand herself and to discover her true purpose in life.
It's honestly like an interesting story. You wouldn't expect something like this from, what started out as just dolls, right? It's a story that's coming for something very real that's happening in the real world, and something that connects to everything that's happening with women, with men, the whole thing, and we'll get into it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, exactly like you said, Alvaro. Like, there's so much in the movie that it's really simply done and really well done in a way. You know, you don't need to be a super crazy film critic or anything like that to understand the innuendos and the ideas that are in the story, which is really the goal of what this is. It's a kid's movie, quote unquote, but it's a young adult coming of age film. That's what it is.
Really, anyone can go and watch this. It's super simple to understand, like you said. The jokes are very like in your face. This is the joke. And yeah, it's well done. It's well done. It's very self-aware of itself as well, which is something I really liked from it. The whole poking at Mattel, the company who runs Barbie, throughout the whole movie. It was a good watch in theaters. But in terms of rewatchability, we'll get into that later. I have some opinions on that, but I'm ready to hear what you guys have to say.
Definitely. I find it's very important to talk on some of the issues that are happening right now, especially like with women and everything. This movie just tackled that on like right on. It's everything that you wouldn't expect going in to watch a movie like this, because you're going in, you're watching basically a movie about a doll, and all of a sudden you're getting a lot of hidden things in the background for whatever's happening in the real world. It's really well done by Madame Greta.
And it goes a long way to perform this as well. You get big names like Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Channing Tatum's in it. No, not Channing Tatum. That other big muscly guy.
John Cena?
John Cena, thank you. Jeez, I completely forgot there.
For 5 seconds.
Yeah.
No, a great cast. Simu Liu from the Shang-Chi movies. It's something Greta always does, right? She's able to really reunite a bunch of big actors into one blockbuster hit. And some great performances. Fortunately, Margot didn't get nominated. A lot of people think she got snubbed for that. Personally, looking at all the others' nominations, I don't think she got snubbed. She could have been like a close sixth, but I don't think she really achieved the next step.
It was a really tough category this year at the Oscars. If you want to know our opinions on it, go check out the Oscar video where we kind of review who won. But it's just sort of in another year, maybe. Same goes for Ryan Gosling. Like, it's not surprising that he didn't get really anything, although he did get his time to sing his song for music. So we'll talk about music in a bit. But yeah, it's just the acting performances are done really well, I think. And the script is done so well that just they know that they're not super serious, and it's kind of a play on joke because it's Barbie, so like, but there's a lot of undertones of, like you said, Alvaro, just like really serious messages from the story. So that's why I think it worked really well with, especially like Ryan Gosling. He's just really unique, and it's him, right? He is him. So like, it's just fun to watch him do anything. And this, I think, was one of my, I don't want to say it's my favorite Ryan Gosling performance, but it's just so stupid and fun that I enjoyed it.
I definitely agree. It's you're having basically a story that I think connects with how they act, right? I mean, that's like you have Ryan Gosling, who's pretty much playing himself, right? I mean, himself like a fun way, yeah. Right? It's like because he basically likes to talk about how he just like loves messing around, and he's just like a calm guy, and everybody's him, and so like everybody really takes on this personality because of him, right? So it's like his performance in this, I find, is something that kind of deserves for him to get nominated, because he did get nominated for I'm pretty sure. So for him, I see the nomination, understandably. I didn't enjoy Margot's performance like exactly like you said, Will. I didn't think it was nomination worthy for the Oscars, but I still think that her performance was very well done, in the sense that like there's specifically like this one moment when she's basically like sitting on the bench, and there's an old lady next to her, and that's basically, like, I'm just gonna say pretty much just that, in case anybody hasn't seen the movie. If you haven't, check it out. But pretty much she has like this powerful moment, and it's a powerful scene, and it's good acting and on her part.
And I don't want to take anything away from her. Like, obviously, she's a phenomenal actress. She did a good job in this. But like you said, maybe on a weaker Oscar year, she would have gotten a nomination, but just fortunately not this year. And something else I want to talk about for the cast is I really liked the whole. I don't know if you guys have seen Sex Ed on Netflix. It's a TV show that takes place in like Australia, but there's 3 actors from that show that was in this movie, and like they all interact together. So I just found that really cool. One of them was I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, in Kuti Gatwa, the black Ken. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
Emma Mackey, she's one of the Barbie dolls. They interact quite a bit, and I just found that pretty cool to see on screen, and a big movie like this especially.
I was so fun to see Michael Cera too there.
Yeah. Alan. So we talked about unfortunate no nomination for Margot Robbie, but let's talk about Greta, because I mean, it's a really well written story. It's a well production is design is amazing in this movie. And there's a lot of really great things about it. But it was an interesting, category. This year we got, Nolan and Scorsese, and I'm definitely
Lanthimos for Poor Things. It's like it was a strong year. So
it's you're going in to watch a movie, and you're going in to watch her movie. It's a regular movie. It's not nothing incredible. You're not gonna sit there and say, I'm gonna watch an atomic bomb explode from real life, or anything like that. But I did like specifically how she made like callbacks to some pretty serious movies or really big movies, like for example 2001: A Space Odyssey. Like the whole intro or opening sequence is very pretty much copy paste of whatever's happening in 2001: A Space Odyssey. It kind of just brings you in, and if you've seen it, okay, that movie is massive. This movie, they're trying to relate to it somehow. They're trying to connect it in a way that, for you to know this is an important movie. Take a look, just like find the hidden things in it, and like you'll enjoy it for what you're watching and the hidden meaning behind it. And yeah, I think she did a really good job, bringing, like you said, exactly, like bringing the whole production to it, because it's a whole design, right? There's so many Barbies out there. She did it really well done.
that's one thing I find Greta does really well in like all her movies. Having seen Little Women and Lady Bird, her production design is always on like another level completely. Like to fully create Barbie Land from scratch and film in it and stuff. She always does those things super well. And yeah, she's super consistent, right? She's had 3 feature films. There's like a 4th one she did, but no one really talks about it. But her 3 main feature films have all been very good, very successful in the box office. And everyone just always relates to them and brings them back. And people always say online, like, Greta, don't miss. She clearly hasn't missed yet. She's 3 movies in, and they're 3 successes.
Yeah, and it goes a long way. Like, that's really difficult to do. Yeah. Like, it really is. There's very few directors out there who are able to do that. Like, it's really an accomplishment.
And she wrote the screenplay for this too. I don't know if you guys knew that. Yeah. Yeah. It's like she's writing a really well character and really powerful character, and then directing it too. It's great.
She always has strong female leads. All her movies, strong female leads, and she really knows how to utilize them, which is it's nice to see these days. And you don't see that very often anymore.
So let's talk about music. I mean, this had like some of the most iconic songs throughout the summer. It just everybody was talking about it. What do you guys think?
Personally, I don't like the music. It's not my kind of music. But you can't deny the catchiness. You can't deny, like you said, it was all over during the summer. It was literally everywhere, TikTok, radio. It's like you can't deny that they did a really good job with it.
I find, I don't know if it's just Billie Eilish, but I love her voice, and I love like the What Am I Made For? Like there's so much meaning behind it, and it's utilized perfectly in the movie. And I mean, you know what? I actually think I was just a sucker for Billie's voice, because I'm thinking back like what other like music or just like song that I really like, and it's like No Time to Die from her, like from another like music. But it's you have a powerful song like What Was I Made For that shows exactly what the whole purpose of the movie is in just a quick little 3-minute song, and then you also have I'm Just Ken, who is like complete opposite, and you get both of them being nominated. It was pretty fun to see. So I don't know, I really enjoyed it, and I think like the absence of some music in some parts, like for example when like I'll just bring up the bench scene again, there was no music, but then you hear just a little bit of piano right at like close to the end when it's like kind of climaxing. Well, that's just that little scene. It's like it's very powerful with music and the way it can make you feel and connect with this specific movie, because you know that it's a powerful issue, and you feel more connected to it, to whatever's happening, because of the music. I find, I don't know, it helps bring you into the real world.
100%. Nothing to add there. If there's any reason to watch this, there's lots of reasons. We named several, between directing, story, acting, and just overall the way the movie feels and what it is trying to say. It's worth a watch. Now, my question is, would you rewatch it after you've watched it only once?
So this watching it for for this recording was my third time watching it. I saw it twice in theaters. And like now I think I'm done rewatching it, because like the jokes aren't really hitting anymore. Like I see them coming, and like we said earlier, they're pretty surface level in your face. It's like once you know it's coming, it's kind of like, yeah, I get it. But it's still a fun watch. Like it's not taking anything away from it. Whether we watch it 2, 3, 4 times, you're always gonna have a fun time with it.
I was gonna say the same thing. It's like a fun movie to watch because of just how it's made, and it's just a fun movie to watch sometimes, you know. And I would definitely put it on, in terms of rewatchability, pretty high. Like I would rewatch this like next week, if anything.
It's easy to just pop on and, you know, without necessarily like fully paying attention to it, just have it as background noise. Like we said, the music is very catchy, so it'll get you through whatever you're doing.
Yeah, and I mean it's not that crazy long, is it? It's an hour 50.
Yeah.
About, so it's fairly easy to watch, you know, and just pop it in and good to go.
So we'll end it with one last score for the entirety of it. Now, this score system is called the Oppenheimer score system, and I'm not going to explain to anybody what it means. So, Will, how would you rate this on the Oppenheimer score?
So I'm rating this a perfect second half of Barbenheimer on Oppenheimer, because that's the first time I watched it. I did Barbenheimer. I watched it after Oppenheimer, and it's a perfect like palate cleanser in a way, because Oppenheimer is so serious, and this was like, yeah, it was fun and relaxing, and that's my rating for it.
I love it.
Alvaro?
Okay, well, my Oppenheimer score for this was, would I drive 600 kilometers to watch this? No, I wouldn't drive 600 kilometers to watch this. Yeah, it was
Fair enough.
It's good.
Interesting. For me, honestly, it's 7 Chevalier incidents out of 10 for me.
Oh my God.
All right. Yeah, no, but all seriousness, if you haven't watched it, or you have watched it and it's been a while, go check it out again. It's one of those movies that you should at least see, you know, once. And hopefully we remind you of how important it is and how good of a movie it is, even if it does seem silly at the end of the day. So we appreciate you all watching and listening today. If you are new, subscribe and check out our other videos on the channel. We did one on La La Land, so if you want to see some more Ryan Gosling, go check it out. So we'll see you soon.